Hello guys, welcome back to our channel Life Reviewed. My name is Dave and today we are here with the review of the movie Dune. This is a sci-fi movie which recently released in theaters IMAX and on HBO Max. This is being said as the best sci-fi film of the decade, and they're comparing it with Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. So is it that good? And let's see. That's what I am here to talk about. So, Dune is directed by Villeneuve. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's a French director. So, Villeneuve's version of Frank Herbert's 1965 novel opens with the title reading Dune Part 1. That's your first warning that the film isn't going to give you a lot of closure. It's certainly packed with ideas and stunning visuals and information by the spaceship loot, but it's also the setup for a story that's just getting going when out of nowhere the credits roll. The first of a planned two-part adaptation, Dune is based on the fictional universe created by Frank Herbert in his 1965 classic sci-fi novel by the same name. Set in the far future, the film follows Paul Atreides, played by Timothée Chalamet, as he and his family, the noble house Atreides, are thrust into war for the dangerous desert planet Arrakis. Dune faces the twin challenges of being based on a novel long thought to be unfilmable, but also following other movies that have already borrowed key ideas from the book. The biggest example of that are the Star Wars universe. They have borrowed a lot of ideas from Dune and Foundation series. Dune's deliberately evasive plot requires some knowledge of Frank Herbert's novel to be fully comprehensible. Atreides is one of the great houses of the feudal interstellar empire known as the Imperium. Overseen by the Emperor, Paul, born on the planet Caladan as the son of Duke Leto Atreides I, played by Oscar Isaac, and his concubine Lady Jessica, played by Rebecca Ferguson, drives the narrative. Paul is unusually gifted, which both enthralls and alarms his mother, a member of the Bene Gesserit clan of sorcerers. The Emperor reassigns control of the remote planet Arrakis from House Harkonnen to House Atreides. Arrakis is the only source of the all-powerful element called spice, which can bend space and time and is crucial for intergalactic travel. The Emperor hopes to destroy Leto Atreides, who is a threat to his power, by putting him in charge of a potentially ungovernable part of the galaxy. Here we see a little bit of parallels to the things we have already seen. The Bene Gesserit can be compared to the Jedi that we have seen in Star Wars, and spice can be compared to the vibranium that we have seen in the Marvel universe. Whoever rules Arrakis are in charge of the spices that only originate on this planet, but there's a catch. The new aristocratic regime must not only endure scorching heat and no water, but also face brutal invasion from the evil House Harkonnen. Having exploited Arrakis' resources and people for 80 years, Harkonnen won't give up their golden goose so easily. The desert in Arrakis is home not only to the precious spice but also gigantic sandworms and a rebellious tribe called the Fremen, who believe that their savior will arrive any minute now. Dune is a movie that relies on ravishing visuals and a diverse cast to make its way through literal and figurative sandstorms. The legendary Hans Zimmer score captivates your senses. Filmed for IMAX, Dune is every bit an immersive visual masterpiece. The big name cast includes Jason Momoa, last seen in Aquaman, and Josh Brolin, last seen as Thanos in MCU, as Leto's lieutenants. Stellan Skarsgård as the Baron of House Harkonnen, Dave Bautista as the Baron's nephew, and Javier Bardem as the leader of the Fremens. As you see, every one of them powerhouse actors. All of them render solid performances. Special shout out to Stellan Skarsgård, who is unrecognizable here. He is menacing and steals the show in the few scenes that he is in. I hope there is more of him in the part 2 of Dune. Zendaya plays Chani, the woman who haunts Paul's visions. The movie gives each of these actors a scene or two to call their own, but the central relationship is between mother and son, and the most decisive moments are between Rebecca Ferguson and Timothy Chalamet. While Ferguson is compelling as the mystique with secrets of her own, Chalamet's delicate beauty and brooding charisma makes him the perfect fit for a hero who is only just coming into view in a movie that just about begins to make sense by the end. You see for yourself why the young actor is an Oscar nominee so early on in his career. There's more to Dune than just its visual mastery. The plot navigates human control over ecology, political ambush, religion, faith, and superstition, survival, and beyond all, evolution of man. You are transported to the world of sand, sun, desert storms, and the shadows, where eyes shine like blue diamonds. Religious aspects of the plot aren't compromised on. You see a bit of Hindu, Islamic, Christian, and Arabic influence throughout, mostly Arabic. In the books, the holy war was called jihad, but given current political conditions in the world, they had to change it to just being called as holy war. So that's it for this video, guys. Do put in the comments what you felt about this review. If you have already seen the movie, what you felt about this movie, and what you expect to see in the sequel. I will see you in the next one. Till then, stay safe and goodbye.